Hi, welcome to Rock and Metal Invasion. My name is Steve. Coming up on the show today, I'm doing song title is the name of the band, part 2. So, as you may know, of course, last week I did song title is the name of the band, part 1. And I thought, after I did the show, I thought there's actually quite a few I've missed out, especially bands that have a song title that is the name of the band, and I actually have their albums in my collection, and I just totally missed it. And thank you to those people who have put forward some great suggestions and reminded me about some of those albums. So it's not going to be as long as part 1, but let's get into it. There's just a few I want to show, and also some more that I don't have in my collection that I wanted to mention and talk about. So this one, pretty obvious one, I can't believe I missed it. Manowar, and from the album Battle Hymns, they have a song that kicks off side 2 called Manowar. Fierce Heart, that was a great suggestion. A comment was left on my last, on the part 1 episode, and yeah, this is a really good band, good hard rock, mid-80s hard rock, and Rex Carroll does the guitar work, really good guitar work, and track 2 on side 1 is a song called Fierce Heart. Now, I was really surprised I forgot this one because I've done a show that featured this band. One of my female-fronted, lesser-known female-fronted bands. This is all-female band called No Shame, and they have a song that kicks off side 1 called No Shame. Dan reminded me about that one. Thanks, Dan. Now, next up, actually, that's kind of it from the bands I have in my collection. But those were 3. I was like, I should have really remembered those. But just a few more to show that, are close to having a song title, or they are bands I have in my collection. I just don't have that specific album. So this is Little Angels, and from their Big Bad EP. They have a song that kicks off the EP called She's a Little Angel. So it's close. It's not Little Angels, but it's pretty close. So there's that one. This is a band called Highway Child. Dan again mentioning this one to me. In fact, it's funny because he's just done an episode. Go check it out on his channel where he's talking about one of those. It's one of his forgotten bands, and he's talking about Highway Child, and he's talking about their debut album. And then as he's talking about it, he realizes, hold on, they've got a song called Highway Child. So, this is actually their second album. I don't have that first album. They have a song that is also the name of the band. This is their second album. Not a band that's really clicked with me totally yet, but I do really like the song Christine on this album. I think I just probably need to check out a few more of their albums and give them a bit more of a listen. Now, next up, this is a band called Baby Animals. Now, this is Australian hard rock, really good, came out early 90s. Really good album, this one, actually, but it doesn't have a song called Baby Animals on this album, but they do have a B-side. So one of their 12-inch singles is a B-side, and it's one of their own songs, and it's called Baby Animals. So the song that is also the name of the band, they have got, but it just hasn't been on one of their albums, but is on one of their singles. So there we go. And so that's it really of the albums I'm going to show. Just a few I wanted to talk about just before we wrap it up. These are basically ones that have been suggested and great suggestions. So I want to mention these ones. Kicks Are for Kids from the debut Kicks album. Again, strictly not Kicks, but Kicks Are for Kids. It's got Kicks in the title. Halloween, they have a song called Halloween, so pretty close. Voivod, of course. Voivod, I think it's from their debut album. Hammerfall, they have a song called Hammerfall. $1 Billion Babies, there's a song called $1 Billion Babies on an Alice Cooper album. And then what happens is a lot of the members of that band then go and form a band called $1 Billion Babies. So the $1 Billion Babies I don't think actually had on their album a song called $1 Billion Babies, but it was a song that, is linked to Alice Cooper, and it has members of the Alice Cooper band in it. A little bit like the Last in Line band. Last in Line band features members of the Dio band, and of course Dio had the song Last in Line. Now I mentioned Motorhead and the song Motorhead. Also, one thing I just wanted to mention about that I forgot to mention is that song Motorhead by Motorhead was originally on the Hawkwind album, the final Hawkwind album that Lemmy was on. And so that was, I think, the only song that Lemmy wrote that is actually on a Hawkwind album. But and then that song, then he took it with him, and it's on the debut Motorhead album. Avantasia, they have a song called Avantasia. Nightwish, now I've got a few Nightwish albums, but I don't have the one that features this song. But yeah, Nightwish have a song called Nightwish. Bad Religion, they have a song called Bad Religion. And another one Dan told me about, a Canadian band, they put out an album in 1989 called We Haven't Heard of You Either, which is quite a fun title for your album. And the band is called White Heat. And they've got a song that opens up that album called White Heat. Really good song, actually. I wasn't familiar with this band at all. But certainly something I like. Quite commercial, sort of hard rock, late 80s sort of hard rock. I think they're Canadian, like I said. So I checked out the album. I really like that song, White Heat. The rest of the album's a bit average, but yeah, so that was a good little discovery. So check that song out. Of course, there are a few other bands called White Heat. I think actually the band Firehouse, before they became Firehouse, I have a feeling they were called White Heat as well. But when I was looking up White Heat, lots of bands on Discogs, lots of bands came up. I had to check with Dan what the album title was, and he told me it was We Haven't Heard of You Either, which is quite a funny title, isn't it? And then finally, the band Alestorm, who I think I like. I don't have any Alestorm, but they're sort of like, looking at their album art, they're kind of like, pirate metal. That's a genre, but and they have a song. It's not on their debut. I think it's like on their third or fourth album, but called Alestorm. And there we go. That is it. There's also Queen, Killer Queen, a little bit like some of those other ones I've mentioned, where it's not totally the title of the band. The title is not, completely the name of the band, but so that's another one. I'm sorry if I've missed some other suggestions that people have put in, or ones that I should have remembered that I've missed. So if I have, let me know. Put something in the comments. Otherwise, it's going to be a short one. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Hit the thumbs up. And I'll be back soon with another episode. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see ya.